Welcome everyone to Mind Your Own Business training. This is a training that my wife puts on, and she's going to be doing this every Sunday night for the rest of 2024. So if you have not been introduced to my beautiful bride, Dr. Erin, let me give a quick introduction for her. So again, she's doing this every Sunday night as part of a Mind Your Own Business training series. But as we know, every business needs an optimizer, and Dr. Erin, the success psychologist, is your go-to expert for transforming individuals and teams into high-performing powerhouses. She's been awarded top doctor by Best in Nevada. She's the professional saleswoman of the year and one of the top 125 global leaders to follow, but as according to Success Magazine. She's a 7-time best-selling author, executive business coach, corporate trainer, and keynote speaker. She's also a top 1% leader in Make Wellness, the world's first bioactive precision peptide company, launching later this month in October. So welcome everyone to our Mind Your Own Business training. Honey, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
I don't make him call me Dr. Erin, everybody. I don't make him. It just does. He just does. Okay. I can't help it. Oh my goodness. So welcome back, everybody, or welcome to your first call. That is right. We're going to be here every Sunday through the rest of the year, and we're going to end with a huge New Year's kickoff celebration and kind of planning out our next 2025. But I'm so happy you're here tonight. Last week, we covered the 5 steps of every sales process, and all of the recordings are housed on my YouTube channel. And so Garth's going to drop that link here in case any of you want the recordings, the replay. And this week, we are going to talk all about you and optimizing you as the business leader that you are. But before we do that, let me share my screen so I can share with you something. So that's kind of where we're heading today. And first of all, I wanted to thank last week's winner of the raffle, Missy Mew. I hope I'm saying that right. Every week, if you share this call, if you find it valuable to share it on your social media, if you would just tag me, Garth and I will tally all of those shares on today only, on Sunday, and we will do a raffle for one of my 2 books. I'm not going to be selling on this call, but you can win one of my 2 books of your choice. Mind Your Own Business, which is 21 days to train your brain for unstoppable success. And Oh, How Human of Me is my journal to reach your highest self, not in spite of your humanity, but because of it. And included in this is 30 years of research put into questions that are your journal prompts of how to really become and live as your highest self. So Missy won last week, and I just wanted to feature her because we've got all these amazing people on this call. So Missy, helping others reignite their inner light and transform their health and wealth, building a community of strong and spiritually aligned humans who are ready to take action. Yes, please. So thank you so much, Missy. And again, if you want to share tonight's call, tag me in your socials and you'll be entered into a raffle for one of those books. I'm going to open up my chat room so I can see you all, and we're going to dive in. Okay, get your papers and pencils out. This is going to be like a hose of awesomeness coming your way. No sprinklers here. It's going to be a lot, and it's going to be amazing. And it's really going to be your roadmap to just creating a business and a life that you love. So I want to start out with this premise. You are the greatest return on investment in your business. You probably agree because you're here. Like, you all are like, yeah, that's why I'm here. I get that. But if you really think about it, you are the greatest investment you could make in your business because everything rises and falls on your own self-leadership, right? So open your chats, please. I want you to play a little guessing game with me. When I ask my high performance business coaching clients, top execs, success-driven professionals, entrepreneurs, when I ask them this question, hands down, there has been a singular response that has always kind of been the top response. And let's see if any of you can guess it. So here's the question. What is the number one thing or obstacle that gets in the way of you reaching your goals? What would you all say? Yourself, me, consistency, yourself, you, me, yourself, doubt. Yes, yes. Uh, Time management. What is the number one obstacle between you and reaching all of your goals? Well, no matter what you're saying, it's basically this. The answer is me. That's what they all say. They say, me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me, right? So the good news is you are also the solution. So I'm going to show you how you can be your greatest solution. Next week, we are going to talk about the 5 pillars of business growth. So in today's training, I'm going to be delivering to you my methodology that includes 40 years of research of the high performers of the world. And I'll explain what those are to make sure that you want to be one of those. But all of that research is in this fun acronym called AMPed. And the whole idea here is if you want to be amped, you're someone that wants to supercharge your success. You want to kind of plug into and turn up the volume of your purpose and your passion and your profits and your impact and your influence. So we are going to get you amped tonight. Sound good? Okay. So next week, we are going to talk about getting amped as far as business growth and business strategy. Business success is simple. There are no real secrets. It's the same kind of every time. And what we're going to do next week is we're going to teach you how to attract your ideal client with ease. M, we're going to talk about marketing and messaging. P, products, pricing, and packaging. E, enroll with ease, which is sales. And D, duplicate and scale. So that really is the 5 pillars of every successful business. Next week, we're going to get your business amped, but tonight we're going to get you amped. Okay. All right. So here we go. I studied under Brendon Burchard, who is the world's top high performance coach. He was Oprah's coach. So you're getting the same coaching as Oprah gets. So it's good enough for Oprah. It's good enough for us, right? And he did the world's largest study on high performers. Now, let me tell you what a high performer is and why I take such a stand for high performance and why I love helping people optimize, like Garth was saying, their life. Okay. So high performers, there's 4 pillars. Before we start with the A, activate, I'm going to tell you the 4 pillars so you can see if you want to be one. The first pillar of high performers is they're really successful at their craft, whatever they're building in their life. If they want to be a really incredible partner in marriage, they are world class. If they're building a business, they're world class. If they're a realtor, they're in the top 1 to 3%. So they're just very successful at the thing that they are creating in the world and what they're wanting to show up as. Okay. The second pillar is when you study them, they keep their success for long periods of time. We are talking decades. Can you think of someone in your life or a celebrity that you can think of that has had 40, 50, 60 years of success? They don't go into the witness protection program. They don't all of a sudden disappear. They don't crash and burn. In fact, they're the realtors that are always getting the top realtor award every single year. And you're like, how does she do it? Every single year she's at the top. She just doesn't go away. She just stays successful. Can you think of anyone that's had a really long run? That's, what is different than peak performance is this ability to have longevity with your success. And don't we all want that? We don't want just a peak performance, because lots of us can create that, but we want something that sustains. So, Oprah is kind of the model of that. Cher, you might say. Lots of business titans that you can think of have been around for many, many years, right? Okay, the third pillar of these high performers, when you study them, they have 3 things that I think you're all going to really want. The first is joy. They are joyful. They're they're not asleep at the wheel. They're not just, they don't answer like, how are you doing? They don't say fine. I mean, sometimes maybe, but it's almost like they're allergic to that. They have joy. They also are confident. When I ask my clients, what do you want the most? Most of you want confidence. And third, they are engaged. What does that mean? They're engaged in their day. They're not, like I said, they're feeling their life. It's like they're alive. They're awake in their own life. So joyful, confident, engaged. Yes, please. And then the fourth pillar is, get this. This is why I take a stand for high performance. They achieve all of that while having and experiencing world-class relationships and health. So they don't achieve success at the expense of the things that matter most. One would even say, you could argue that wouldn't be success anyways, couldn't you? So Maya Angelou has a definition for success that I just love. And it is this. And I want you to realize that you could interchange the word success with happy in all of this. And so before I share that definition with you, I want you to realize I'm not helping people achieve more so that they're worker bees or that they're just doing. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in you creating a life that you're obsessed with, a life you're in love with, a life that is your definition of success and nothing else. Okay, so here's the definition of success according to Maya Angelou. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. I'll say that again, but we'll change it to the word happy. Happiness is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. You see, they're so interchangeable. So this is what we're building here. So does anyone want to get amped? Does anyone want to be a high performer? Okay. Last week you all shared what you're building, what you're wanting to sell more of. Tonight, I'm going to help you with a lot of things. And there's going to be an opportunity for some hot seat coaching to someone who is brave enough and wants to do that with me. So I won't call on you, but you can self-select. And so let's get going. Okay. High performers, successful, happy people are activated. The A of amped. What does this mean? What are they activating? They're activating their highest self. Another way you could think of this is your wisest, truest version of yourself. You could say the most successful version of yourself, the fulfilled version of yourself. They're activating a value system that is important to them. So each of these words in the acronym will have a question that you can ask yourself that is related to it. So for activated, it's, am I being my ideal self? So let's go through a little exercise here. I want you to put on your business hat and answer this question, because you can do this for all the different roles that you play in your life, mother, father, friend. But for tonight, because we're focusing on building a business, put your business hat on. And I want you to think of, as a business owner, as a business builder, as an entrepreneur, my highest self is, and find 3 words that describe your highest self. And as you think of your words, please drop them in the chat. It'll give other people great ideas. But what are those words? What kind of business owner do you value being? I would be a leader if I were successful. My highest self would lead. If I were the highest version of myself, I would be abundant. I would be successful. I would lead with integrity. I would have integrity. I am integrous. Is that a word? I don't know. What other words? Ooh, compassionate. Oh, beautiful. Ooh, look at 3 words, everyone. Yes, wonderful. Okay. Ooh, trustworthy. That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. So take some time to really ponder what 3 words you want to put on when you are putting on the role of business builder. Okay. Now, here is the really cool thing. You are going to practice being her, being him now. Type in the chat, be her now, be him now. So I'll give you an example. If I value being present, how would you suggest I become present? You would probably say, you would practice being present. If I valued being patient, how would you say I could become a patient? You would say, be patient, practice patience. It's not more complicated than that. And I want you to understand that there is a law of the universe behind this that basically says, if you are her now, if you are him now, it is inevitable that you will become her because you're being what she would do. It is inevitable that you will become him because you're doing what he would do. Isn't that wild? If you want to be consistent, you be consistent today. And then all of a sudden, you're a woman that's consistent. So I want you to link up, what behaviors would I be doing if I were that quality, and go and do them now. These are very different than affirmations. This is not an affirmation. This is a declaration of your value set. And your highest self, the one that is, I believe, powered by, informed by, connected to your higher power, is always like sitting right next to you and is your inner guru. And I want you to think of her or him as being the chair of the board, the CEO, the spiritual mentor, the parenting coach that you would look up to, the personal trainer and fitness coach, the world-class friend, the marriage mentor. She is always right there, and he is, and you can just consult with him or her. And you can say all day long, you can be like, well, what would you do? Okay, you have your goal and you want to be consistent. So what would you do? Guess what? She's going to know the answer. She's going to say, you better be consistent. If one of my words is, I want to be fit, guess what? She's going to have some ideas of what I should order off the menu. She's going to have some ideas of, should I go to the gym? Isn't she? Your inner self, your highest self, knows the way. But you've got to stop, ask for directions, and then do as she says. Do as he says. I hope this makes sense. If you want to be disciplined, guess what you got to do now? You got to be disciplined. And what's on the other side of that is true freedom. It's true self-worth, self-esteem, because you're being who you say you want to be. Okay? So you can do those 3 words for different roles that you play. I'm going to have different words for what kind of wife I value being. So as I'm driving into the garage from a day of work and I'm greeting Garth, I might put on those 3 words. I might put on different words for when I know I'm going to be with my children. I'm going to put on different words when I'm hanging out with a friend. But it's a good place to start. Okay? What we know about the happiest, most successful people is they have one thing in common more than anything. They are intentional. And this A is that part of this equation. They're intentional about being who they value being. And so I want to encourage you to think of, how you could practice this in your life, how you could remind your brain, how you could put this on the dashboard of your brain, on the windshield of your mind. Maybe you could put sticky notes on a mirror. Maybe you could put your words in your car, right? You could put, you could remind yourself every transition you make during the day. So you go from one meeting to the next, one appointment to the next. That's when you can practice your words. So be very, very intentional, my friends, and you will build a life that is just gorgeous beyond your dreams. You will love yourself. It will be inevitable. This also is the way to self-esteem. Being aligned with who you say you want to be and then doing what he or she would do is the definition for happiness, for success. It's actually that simple, and you can practice every transition you make throughout your day. If you're awake 16 hours a day, you've got 16 opportunities to practice, and it will become a way of life. All right. Are we ready for M? Okay. Who here would like more motivation? You think you want more motivation. You're like, I just need the motivation. Okay. So motivation is maybe not what you think it is, or maybe I have a different definition of it. But in the land of high performance, motivation means, am I serving others well? Am I moving my mission forward? Because my friends, that's what you're looking for. Some would call it inspired, right? On purpose. That's what we're talking about here. I am going to help you live a life where you're not going to need motivation. I don't wake up every day and be like, well, do I feel like going to work? Am I motivated to go? I don't even ask that question. But what I do ask, and what I want you to ask yourself is, am I moving my mission forward? Now, some of you may not have a clue what your mission is, your purpose on the planet. I'm going to give you 2 questions to think about this week, and then we can talk about it next week as well. But this is kind of a great way to find what your purpose on the planet is. The first question is typically along the lines of, what am I great at, or have a giftedness about me? Or what is the thing that I've been told ever since I was a little girl that, wow, you're just so blank? What is it? The same refrain that people have said. Maybe it's, you're just so loving, you're so caring, you just always are so inspiring. Like, that is part of, I believe, your purpose on the planet. So again, share with us in the chat, like, what is that thing? Or maybe like Garth, he is such an incredible problem solver. He's a professional problem solver, otherwise known as an engineer. But Garth was always gifted at that. Always. He connects the dots for things, right? Oh, that's beautiful, Lori. You can see. Lori's a seer. Ooh, so am I. That's such a fun gift, isn't it? You can see for people where they're going, connect the dots. Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful gift. I wasn't trying to show off, Lori. I love that that's my gift. I love that. It's really wild. I bet you do. It's so cool. Okay, so am I serving others well? Okay. We are going to dive into this one. And this is where I'm going to ask for someone's willingness to be on the hot seat and get coached by me, and everyone's going to follow along. But first and foremost, I'm going to help you figure out what your mission is, what your purpose on the planet is, in like 5-6 minutes. Okay. You're going to follow along, everyone. So what you're going to do on your piece of paper is, I want you to make 8 horizontal lines, 8 lines. Okay. Just across the page, 8 lines that you're going to fill in like sentences. And at the top, I want you to write what your business goal is. And I want you to create a goal that is either money or impact. So it's a quantifiable metric. It's, I want a team of this big, or I want to sell 30 homes, or I want to do this much in revenue, or I want, you see, okay, so it's not, for the purpose of tonight, it's not, I want to help people get healthy, or I want, it's your actual business goal. And you could say for 1 year from now, you could do a 5 year from now, whatever floats your boat. You could do a destination, like what is the ultimate goal? Just pick what you want to play with, okay? And write that goal at the top of your sheet. And I'm going to show you the ROI of why. So I'm going to help you get to your why, which is your purpose on the planet. And many of you have probably gone through an exercise like, you need to know your why, you need to know your why. No, you need to know your purpose on the planet, because everything you do can then be in service of your purpose on the planet, no matter what you're doing for work, okay? No matter what you're selling. So, do I have someone who's like, me, unmute yourself, like jump in, who wants to do the hot seat coaching with me?
I'll do it.
Molly. Okay, everyone clap for Molly. Clap for Molly. Okay. Put your goal at the top, everyone. Do we all have the goal? Okay, Molly, before we dive in, do I have your permission to interrupt you and lead you so it would be most effective for you?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I have your permission. You're going to play along with me and just do as I say, and we're going to get to your purpose on the planet.
Sounds good. Let's go.
So thank you, Molly, for your willingness to share. So please share with us your goal.
Mine is to impact the lives of millions.
Okay, great. Okay, millions. Great. Okay, so everyone has their goal. You're going to do this 8 levels deep. This is kind of where we're going. And I'm going to ask you a question that you'll fill in right with me, Molly. I want to impact millions, because another thing you could all say, everyone, is I want to impact millions so that, or it's important to me to impact millions because. So it's kind of your why for that first level. So Molly, I want to, Dr. Ann, I really want to impact millions because.
You want me to give you the answer out loud?
Oh,
okay. Yes. Well, because I want to help change like the whole frequency of this whole entire planet.
I mean, that's all she wants to do. She wants to change the frequency of the planet, everybody. Molly, I knew I loved you for a reason. Okay, write that down. Write that down. I want to help millions because I want to change the frequency of the planet. Okay. So that is level 2, right? Right, Molly, 2?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to do the, okay. I really want to change the frequency of the planet. It's important to me because
I believe that that's what our mission is. That's what I believe we're here for.
Great. Write that down. Everyone write down your 3rd level. Now, that's what we're here for. Okay. And Erin, that became really, really apparent to me in my life that that's actually our mission, because let me tell you when that happened.
It happened in 2020 is when I had like my great awakening.
Ooh, tell me about it.
Oh, when I just realized that we were all just programmed and sheep and kind of doing what we've been programmed to do since we were children.
Okay, write that down. Write that down.
Okay.
I realized we were programmed since childhood. Okay, that's your level 4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now level 5. I want you to fill this in. And you know what, Erin? It really pissed me off because, or you know what? That really upset me because.
It really pissed me off because I believe that being God's highest form of creation, we are here for so much more than what we've been programmed.
And when I think of what more means, what I mean by more is,
Okay, say that one more time.
you said being God's highest form of creation and that we were made for more. And what I mean by more is, for example,
For example, I mean, I guess I'm a little bit stuck on that one.
I'm going to go back to one thing, Molly.
Okay.
When I think of, so let's do this for level 6. When I think of people not reaching their God's highest form of creation for them and not reaching their more, it makes me feel,
It makes me feel like, I mean, we've just really been programmed. I mean,
and when I
I don't know if
realize
that's
how programmed we are, it makes me feel,
annoyed.
okay. Makes me very annoyed. And so if I think of, this is number 7, if I think of, how to change this thing about humans on the planet, and I think of changing that to a higher frequency, I feel
Like we're living out our purpose. Like
great.
we're doing what we're supposed to be doing as human beings.
And number 8, there's nothing magical, you guys. It just usually takes about 8, and we're gonna claim it here. Also, you'll see. And oh my gosh, Erin, when I think of, if I could look back on my life and say I help people live their purpose on the planet.
Say that one more time.
If I were to look back on my life, if I were to get to the end of my life and say, I did it, I helped millions live their purpose on the planet and wake up from the programming. If I did that, what would you say?
I'd feel like I completed my mission.
Mission completed. Okay. So what is one thing you're actually selling, Molly?
The fact that we're programmed
No, what are people buying from you?
right now.
In Make Wellness, you could say. What are they?
Oh, I mean, in Make Wellness, it's the peptides.
Okay. So
Mhm.
I want to show you all. I'm going to state the obvious, but Molly's purpose on the planet is not slinging peptides. Can we get an amen? Do we understand this? It's not her purpose. She wasn't born to sell peptides. Okay. But guess what? Those peptides and the platform that she's using can help people live their fullest potential, can't they, Molly?
Yep, absolutely.
So, Molly, every time you sold a box of peptides, you could say, mission accomplished. We got one closer. We got one closer. And you should. We need to link our mission with these behaviors that we're doing to build our business. When I see someone in my psychology practice, Molly, I say, I just set another person free. My mission is to set the captives free. And I know what that means to me and what that means to God. But another person just found a little bit more freedom. And so link up that purpose. So your legacy, I mean, you're living a legacy of helping people live their highest potential. Molly, not everyone gets that calling on their heart. It might seem like well, yeah, that's what I do. That is a giftedness. That is a calling over your life. And so everything you do can be in the service of that. So that's your purpose on the planet. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Molly.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Molly. Yes. Okay. Let me go back to sharing my screen. All right. I hope everyone found their purpose on the planet. That little exercise we did. All right. Okay, so the P of amped is these high-performing, successful, happy people are very productive. Now, remember, I told you they also have the greatest relationships and health. So we'll get to the fact that they're not productive because they're skimping on those things. They're not more productive because they're getting more hours because they're not sleeping. Nope. They are more productive and they are the healthiest people. They have world-class relationships. So very, very interesting, right? I can't see my chat room. There it is. Okay. So productive, very different definition of productive here. Productivity. I don't care how many hours you're working. That tells me nothing about your productivity. The question we want to ask for productive is, am I moving the needle on what matters most? When you think of it like that, you're like, oh yeah, that is the definition of productive. So again, I'm not interested in working you to your bones. I'm not interested in you working more. I'm interested in you moving the needle on what matters most so that you are productive. So let's dive into what this might look like for your business. In business, I found it really helpful to think of kind of 3 buckets of categories of behaviors that if you do those 3 buckets, that's where you will make the most impact in your business goal, in your income goal. I've listed some of them that you might choose from, and your 3 buckets might be different based on how long you've been in business, based on your level of influence, etc. But generally speaking, one of our buckets needs to be marketing. If we're in business, one of our buckets needs to be marketing. So for a lot of us, that's going to mean marketing in real life as well as social media, right? Marketing, remember last week, is different than prospecting and sales, but it's necessary but not sufficient, right? But one of the buckets probably is going to be marketing. For some of you, networking would be a bucket that would move the needle the most. For me, as a speaker, that's the thing that moves the needle the most for speaking, because if I network and people know that I am a speaker, they put me in front of their organizations. That moves the needle the most for me, because once I get on stage, because I'm pretty good at it at this point, I get asked to speak somewhere else. So social media is not the thing that moves the needle the most on my speaking, but it might be for a different business of mine. Okay. Another bucket is prospecting, probably for all of us, which is just talking to the humans and going through your 5 to thrive from last week. Your 5 steps of conversation, invitation, presentation, follow-up, and collect a decision. For some of us, while we never give up professional and personal development, for some of us, that needs to be one of the big buckets. Again, at different stages of your development as a leader, as a business owner. Okay. Of course, we're going to sprinkle that in forever, but there was definitely a time in my life where that had to be a much bigger bucket than it does right now. One of your buckets might need to be skills acquisition. Maybe you're at a stage in your business where you actually need to learn how to do something. That's almost like Captain Obvious has entered the Zoom room, but like we think, it's perfectly normal to go to school for 12 years to become a doctor, but somehow we should just know how to be a social media influencer, digital online social retailer, and have a 6-figure business without learning skills. And so if you haven't learned the skills, that might be a bucket for you in 2025. So let us know what some of your buckets are for, let's say, 2025. And you really want to make sure you're spending 80% of your time in those 3 buckets. So if you're not getting the results that you want, ask yourself, did I veer off of my buckets? Have I lost myself to Canva because it's so fun to make pretty graphics, but I'm actually not talking to the humans. I'm not prospecting. I'm not doing anything that actually moves the needle on what matters most. So really successful people know what moves the needle on what matters most. If you're looking to lose weight, what moves the needle on what, the most is your diet and moving, your food and moving your body, and perhaps sleep, like there, and perhaps supplementation, right? So there are certain buckets of behavior that move it's not learning about all the diets that are out there. It's actually like eating clean food, would be a bucket for that kind of goal. Okay. And also, sorry. Oops. Well, I'll just make this smaller. I don't know what happened. Okay. The E, happy, successful people have energy. Okay. This is not bad news. It's not the kind of thing where, well, must be nice for her. She got all the energy. Like I did not get blessed with the energy. I don't know where the energy is for me. No. When you learn the science of high performance, you understand that you generate your own energy, which I think is such great news, because then it's not just this fluke, or it's not just luck of who gets the energy. You are able to generate your own energy. So Brendan Burchard had a saying for this. He said, the power plant doesn't have energy, it generates energy. And the same way, I didn't used to have this energy, did I, Garth? I was not this energetic. I was not this fun. I was not this funny. I did not used to have this much energy. So you can imagine, to Garth's surprise, now I do. But I learned how to generate this. So I'm going to walk you through what high performers do for their health habits, just so that you kind of know how. Because if you have an Olympic sized dream, would you not agree you're going to need Olympic size energy? If you have a big dream, you're going to need big vibrancy. You're going to need sustained energy. You can't burn out, right? You're going to need energy. If you are in sales, which you all are here, because we are all in sales, we are in the business of contagious enthusiasm. If you want to have contagious enthusiasm, you're going to need some energy. That doesn't mean you have to be extroverted. It means you need some energy. Okay, so let's break this down. Am I healthy, vibrant, and feeling the day? Those would be good questions to ask yourself, but let's break it down. All the science is in this ladder of vibrancy. So high performing, successful people eat, 1 to 2. They take 1 to 2 breaks every hour. Now, this is not just a silly like coincidence. This is every hour they are pausing and they're doing something that recharges their energy or their intention. So remember how we talked about they master their transitions? About every hour, you're going to master your transition. So an example of a break could be, it's not this, it's not on your phone. That's not a break. A break can be a minute. It can be 30 seconds, but a break might be, I'm going to go put my face in the sun. It might be, I'm going to do 10 squats at my desk. It might be, I'm going to go take a drink of water and walk around the house. It might be, I'm going to connect to God. It might, it's a break. And here's 4 words that can really help you master your transition. A transition, remember, is just from one activity to the next. Don't make this more complicated. It's like you get in your car, you get out of your car. That's a transition, okay? Is 4 words. You release tension, set intention. Release tension, set intention. Maybe you just got off a Zoom and you're like, okay, I need to release what just happened. And I'm going to set intention for my next meeting. How do I want to be? Okay, so 1 to 2 breaks every hour. Okay, 2 to 4. High performers eat 2 to 4 healthy, beautiful, whole food, actual food meals a day. Now, if you're an athlete and you need more than that, do what you need to do. But generally speaking, they're eating 2 to 4 beautiful, gorgeous meals of healthy food every single day. 4 to 5, they are drinking 4 to 5 liters of water every day. This is a lot of water. This is more than 8 glasses, but They're drinking 4 to 5 liters of water a day. It's about a gallon, you guys. So you're not going to have water toxicity. You're not going to float down the river, but you're going to pee all day long. And that's going to be a good break for you. Maybe that's a good break too. Okay. So anyways, water is very important in achieving your mission because I'm going to show you how. The number one cause of a dip in productivity is fatigue, just being tired. And the number one cause of fatigue is dehydration. So repeat after me. We're going to drink our way to success. Okay. We are going to drink our way to success. Okay. So when your brain cells are not hydrated, they are not lubricated and they don't touch. So that's where you experience brain fog. So if we're going to be creative, vibrant, energized entrepreneurs, we need to be hydrated. It's very important. Okay, 5 to 6 happy, successful people work out 5 to 6 times a week. A workout is moving your body for 20 minutes. And I'm a big fan of easy. So write this down. Easy doesn't mean sleazy. Easy means mastery. So ask yourself, what's the easiest way for me to move my body? What's the easiest, most fun way for me to move my body? And start there. Don't start with what you think you should be doing. Do what you love. You might even ask yourself, what's the easiest time of day for me to move my body? What's the easiest way for me to stay accountable of moving my body? That might be hiring a trainer. I hire our daughter. It's not because I need her to tell me what to do. It's because I go when I know she's there. And for some reason, when I pay attention. It's not the most financially sound decision, but it's the easiest. It's the easiest for me. And I am fit and I am healthy and I love that. So what's the easiest way for you to do these things? Okay. 6 to 7 is 6 to 7 meditations a week. Now, meditation is just you connecting with your body, your spiritual self, your higher self. That can be a couple minutes of just breathing. It can be a mantra that you say. It could be release tension, set intention, but you're just kind of grounding yourself. It doesn't have to be an hour long in your closet, meditation. Start somewhere. But happy, successful people are centering themselves. They're connecting with their highest self, the self that is connected to their higher power. And then 7 to 9, you could probably guess it. They are sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night. You do not have 30, 40 years of success by not sleeping. You can't do it. And some of you might say, well, I can get by on less than that. I'm not interested in you getting by. I'm interested in you being successful for 40 to 50 years, right? We need you energized, vibrant, alive in your life. So again, very interesting that successful people don't get there because they're not sleeping. They get there because they are. Okay, the last letter is D, disciplined. We are going to bring sexy back to discipline, okay? Discipline is going to set you free. So disciplined, am I doing what I say I'm going to do? I want to share with you a concept from, Oprah called her the greatest life coach on the planet, Martha Beck. And Martha Beck has this great book called The Way of Integrity. It's probably my second favorite book on the planet. And she says this beautiful quote, peace is your home. Integrity is the way to it. And everything you long for will meet you there. What she's talking about is doing what you say you're going to do, being who you say you want to be. That's integrated. So she's not talking about integrity from a morality ethics kind of standpoint. It's am I integrated? Am I living in a way where there are not two selves? There is one self. There is Erin, and she does what she says she's going to do, and she is who she says she wants to be. Okay. Integrity. That's discipline. So discipline is closing the knowing doing gap. The gap between I know what to do, but I'm not doing what I know. I know what to do and I'm doing what I know I ought to be doing or what I want to be doing. It's closing that gap. There is no difference. There's just integrity. I can go back to the discipline slide. Am I doing what I said I'm going to do? That one? Closing the knowing doing gap. And we will end here within the next 5 minutes. Okay. I want to talk about confidence. This is going to blow your mind because it's very related to discipline. And a lot of you want to be confident. And I want to share with you, when I said, if I want to be patient, you just start by being patient. If you want to be confident, you just start being confident. I want to show you what that means so that it doesn't feel like you're faking it till you make it, or that you're like acting or something. Okay. In adulthood, confidence is defined as a couple things, and it's very different than confidence in childhood. So developmentally speaking, confidence in adulthood is your ability to figure things out. So write that down. My ability to figure things out is confidence. So let's say you just started, you're launching a company like Make Wellness, and you're like, well, how can I be confident that I'm going to be successful here? You're not confident in the outcome. You're confident in your ability to figure it out. I hope that just blew your mind. In childhood, confidence comes from the love and approval of the people that are there to love and approve of us, to show us that we're safe on this planet, that the world has order, that we are accepted, that we are loved. But in adulthood, it's your ability to figure things out. So when I wanted to become a speaker, I wasn't confident that I was a great speaker. I was confident that I could become a great speaker. Another way of putting confidence is I'm good at getting good at things. Don't you love that? I'm good at getting good at things. That's confidence. I will find a way. Tony Robbins says the most successful people in the world aren't successful because they had resources. They had resourcefulness. This slide here, behave your way to better thinking instead of trying to think your way to better behaving, is life-changing and might be opposite to a lot of the trainings that you've heard in your life from personal growth. And we know from psychology and studying humans that it is much more impactful to just do it, to do the behavior, to act, and then your thinking will follow. So instead of sitting on the couch and trying to will myself to believe that I'm a great speaker, I went out and hired a speaking coach and I practiced and I spoke. And after speaking and skilling up, my confidence then grew and I began to think, I am a good speaker. So this is where we cannot just sit around and say affirmations that aren't true. The research has shown that actually makes us shameful and gets us demoralized. So looking in the mirror and saying, I love everything about my body and I am a millionaire. And your brain is like, liar, liar, pants on fire. That is not true. I will teach you how to make affirmations that actually work in a future training. But confidence comes from doing. And so you don't wait around for your thinking. You just do it, which is why it's such a great phrase. You do it scared. You do it without confidence. Confidence is your ability to figure it out by doing it. So this is what I really want you to ponder. I want you to become a person of action. I want you to have a decided heart. A decided heart says, I will figure this out. I am a person of action. I will be successful because I say so. I will be successful because I say so. And here is another way to grow your confidence. It's to grow your competence. So skilling up will grow your confidence way more than any mental trickery you're trying to convince yourself of. You go and get a skill and watch your confidence follow. It's called the confidence competence loop. Some of you need to go skill up. There is no other way to become confident other than skilling up. There's no way for us to bottle this confidence and give it to you other than you skilling up. And like we said earlier, your confidence grows by being her now, being him now. You can't help but be confident. So that is getting amped, everybody. That was a masterclass on how to build a life that you're obsessed with, how to like yourself, how to love what you do and like yourself doing it. A lot there, but that's it. That's the science, all in that framework. So we've got 2 minutes. I would love to hear if anyone wants to share what's one thing they're like taking in, like, wow, I'm going to really integrate this in my life, or this is going to change things for me, or I'm excited to run this play in my life. I would love to hear from you.
Erin, while we're waiting for people to unmute, can you just run through the ladders of success one more time for everyone?
Yes. 1 to 2 breaks an hour, 2 to 4 meals a day, 4 to 5 liters of water, 5 to 6 workouts a week, 6 to 7 meditations a week, and 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. I'm excited to master as many things as I can. That's so great. Does anyone else want to share? Hey. All right. All right, my friends. Remember, 8 steps in the motivation place. Can you repeat those? It's just so the 8 steps of your why, you've got your goal, and then you're just going to kind of go, you're going to sow that yourself 8 steps. So you're like, I want this, so that, or because I want that because, and I want that because, and that's important to me because, and that I want that because, and you'll get to your purpose on the planet. Yeah. Rhonda.
Hi.
Hey.
I found it a little difficult to go through that exercise you did with the lady. Like, what questions do we ask ourselves to go 8 layers deep if we were to try to do this at home?
You're just
Like,
asking, why is that important? And 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 why is that important?
okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I really loved, I always hear people telling you to think confident, but acting,
Yeah.
you have to like do something
Yeah.
and start moving instead of just thinking about it.
I'm so glad that resonated.
Thank you. It was like,
Yes.
thank you.
Our thinking is great for a lot of things, but it's not super great in helping us become confident. It's not the thing that moves the needle.
Yeah. We always see all you superstars when we're looking at social media and you get intimidated, but we don't see behind the scenes how much work all of you have done to get where you are. You didn't all just sit on your couch saying, I'm going to be a 6-figure earner. You all had to act,
No,
right? And that's what we forget. So I used to
thank
get
you.
discouraged.
I've hired 17 mentors. Garth knows the bills we've paid.
Yeah.
I've
We
skilled
know
up.
these, especially brand new.
You all don't have to, but $263,000 invested in my training. I mean, I took a lot of action. Yeah, and it makes me look pretty good at what I do now. I would hope that I would be okay at it by now. It's like, but yeah, it wasn't about thinking. It was about skilling up and then doing. So thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you.
Rhonda, and for those, whoever else is on the call, and for those who may be watching the replay, and honey, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the key of the 8 questions or the 8 steps is so many of us, we make a statement of, I want to be successful, or I want to make an extra $10,000 a month. And we just think that that is the final period, if you will, of our growth and our mission and what we're moving forward. The key is to basically be like, well, why do I want to make an extra 10,000 a month? Well, I want to have, be able to pay the bills. Well, why do you want to be able to pay the bills? Because I'm always stressed at the end of every month because I never have enough money to pay the bills. Well, what would that feel like to have. So it's just the series of
Why
just
do you want to be
one step deep.
stress-free? Well, then I would
Yeah.
be a really great parent. And why do you want to be a great parent?
Yep.
Well, because my mission is to raise, is to show them that they can live a joy-filled life. Well, why is that important? Because I believe that that's my, and all of a sudden you've got a legacy of joy. You're like, I am leaving a legacy of joy, one hand cream at a time. You're selling hand creams. So like yeah. Thank you, Garth.
Yeah. And I think just real quick, Erin mentioned it a couple times and you may have missed it because I know I saw a lot of you were taking copious notes. There isn't a set question. Number 1 is this, question number 2 is this, question number 3 is this, because each person's answer is going to be a different question as a follow-up. But what Erin mentioned that some of you may have missed is it's about 8 questions deep is when you finally get to like, oh, that's why I'm doing this. For some people, it may be 6. For some people, it may be 9. So just, I know, like I said, I saw a lot of you taking notes. So you might have missed that when Erin said that.
Well, I want to honor all of your time. Thank you for being here with me. This is so fun. You're helping me fulfill my mission by being here. So share tonight, tag me if you feel like you want to do that, if that feels aligned for you. And next week, we're going to dive in, you guys, the 5 steps of getting amped in your business. And we're going to talk about your niche, and you're going to figure out what your niche is, and it's going to blow your mind because you're like, I have never heard it said that way. And oh my gosh, and it's going to be great. So we'll see you next week, everyone. Thanks for being with me. This was fun. Bye. You're welcome. Bye.